Shadowlands first started, I was actually like really drawn into the whole story. I thought it was really interesting to have Sylvanas be the main baddie, that she wants it to bring everything to an end, you know, basically to reset everything. And because, you know, she was making some pretty powerful arguments for her side. And I liked the back and forth discourse with her and Anduin, you know, and I thought that was kind of interesting. It's a shame they didn't continue that, but I guess there would be a limit as to how long you really are going to be doing that back and forth. The times where she went to talk to this guy, like, honestly, you know what? This is an appropriate way to show what he is to us as the players. To us, he's just nothing. He's like a broken doll. Like, that's how we've always... He was so two-dimensional. He's hollow. That's the kind of character they created. And it's a real shame that they used really what they really did, which I know many of you probably already know this, is they just did a Thanos clone. I mean, let's just face it. That's what he is. He's a Thanos clone. And a really bad Thanos clone. And the reason why Thanos as a character was so powerful and so why so many people loved him, or one of the many reasons, is because he gave a personal ideology to his crusade. And one of the things that made him such a sympathetic character, someone that you actually cared about, is that you actually, like, he was making a rather sensible argument. Granted, his actions to make this argument were not sensible not even remotely. This guy, I actually do like the idea of the storyline of taking the machinery of death and resetting it. That part was good. I like that. But I feel they didn't do enough with it. They didn't develop this guy's character enough. All he was just one of them, one of the Covenants. You know what I would have liked to have seen? I would have liked to have seen the Maw before it became the way it was. What if, during the end of this expansion, instead of having us go through Korthia and Zereth Mortis, which, by the way, I loved Zereth Mortis. Try to say that 3 times fast. Zereth Mortis. I guess not that bad. Okay. Instead of having us go through all those little quests and reputation grinds and all that stuff, similar to what we did with Battle for Azeroth and Warlords of Draenor and all that stuff, I think what they should have done was taken us to the beginning of the Maw. What happened? What was the Maw like before it was the Maw? You know, before it was this hellscape of death and destruction and, you know, angry red and black things chasing you everywhere. Because it's just like, I think his name is Michael, the gentleman who does Bellular, which he does a phenomenal job with that channel. It's true what he said. Every time Blizzard takes us somewhere new, it's always somewhere angry and green or red or gray and disgusting and gross and toxic. It's never any place just beautiful. It's never something pristine or just, I don't know, different. It's like we get to the Maw and it's like, this is what we're fighting in? I mean, what are we doing? How can we salvage this? You know? So I would have liked to have seen them do something where we get his Covenant's sigil. Like, we don't know what his sigil, we know he used to be the Arbiter. So what about him? What about, you know, develop him a little bit. Let's find out what his sigil was. And get and reputation grind for that. Like, maybe we find a nicer, gentler version of the jailer in the past. I mean, before he went all cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. You know, I mean, I don't know. Would it have been better than... I think anything would have been better than what we got, guys. Like, let's face it. I think anything would have been better than what we got. And don't even, oh my gosh, don't get me started on Anduin's cinematic when we defeat him in the raid and Arthas's soul comes out. That was so unbelievably unfulfilling. I'm going to leave you with this. I feel like I realize that Blizzard has gone through a lot, and the Blizzard employees have gone through a lot. There's been terrible, terrible sexual harassment. There's been horrible treatment of employees. People have left, been fired. Players left, you know, gone to other games like Final Fantasy, come back, gone, come back, you know, and it's like, I get it. You know, I don't want to put all of my disappointment on the writing staff, because quite frankly, I don't know what they're dealing with on a day-to-day basis. That being said, even if you don't have control creatively over what you're writing, you can still make it the best you can make it with what they give you. And whoever's idea it was for this story, the general story of this, and especially for this guy, this toy, it fell so short. I was hoping that they would take this character and do something more with him, at least give us something. But all you saw was his memories. And it's like, you are going to tell us, like, you want us to feel sorry for him? No, I don't care about him to feel sorry. I don't even care. Like, he dies, I'm like, oh, okay. It's like turning off a toy. When he dies, it's like, okay, toy off. I mean, when they turned off Data in I know it's another Star Trek reference. When they turned off Data in Star Trek in that trial with Riker and Picard in the trial with Data, that was like, oh my God, Riker did not just do that. Because I cared about Data. So you can make a toy, a robot that somebody cares about. Data had humanity. The jailer didn't. 2 words defined the jailer. 2 words. Pitiful mortals. And with that, I leave you what I feel is one of the best, if not the best, cinematic in all of World of Warcraft. Here we go. This is how I want to remember Arthas and this story.
My son, the day you were born, the very forests of Lordaeron whispered the name Arthas.
Awesome. The CGI is so beautiful. The CGI is so beautiful. It's like, that's something that Blizzard has always been excellent at, is CGI cinematics. Arthas is wearing his domination gear.
Child, I watched with pride as you grew into a weapon of righteousness. Remember, our line has always ruled with wisdom and strength. And I know you will show restraint when exercising your great power.
I love this. Like, we didn't know what he was doing with that sword other than waking the dragon. We didn't know what that meant. That blue magic. Now we know it's domination magic. This is so, I love it. I still don't have that mount. Thing must smell, right? Right? After it gets defrosted, like, oh, something smells like fizzle. You can smell it coming a mile away.
But the truest victory, my son, is stirring the hearts of your people.
well dominated.
I tell you this, for when my days have come to an end, you shall be king.
That's awesome. Gosh, that's awesome. Now, I think that the next thing they're going to mention, they're going to announce the next big update is going to be Wrath of the Lich King Classic, which is going to be fantastic. I hope they do that. That would be awesome to go through all this again, like in the beginning. But anyway, yeah, that to me is Arthas. That to me has always and always will be World of Warcraft's true antagonist. And I don't think you can outdo it, because that guy was the best villain. He really was. But, well, I don't know. Where do they go from here? Honestly, with a villain like this thing, anything is better than this thing. And that's where I'll leave you guys. Maybe I'll do more videos later. I don't know. I have so little time. Thank you for watching Emmy Plays. I'll see you around.